Okay, y'all. I dug deeper and I went deep, deep, deep into this rabbit hole. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Luigi Mangione's cousin is a Maryland state delegate. Luigi's parents own a country club that Pelosi belongs to. Okay. And Tim Walz was buddies with the CEO. I have the pictures and everything to back this up, but I want to tell you first and then I'm going to show you, okay? Newly discovered connection between Pelosi and Mangione raises questions in the CEO investigation. Here are the key points. Cyber attack timeline. A major cyber attack on the United Healthcare Group in February of 2024 coincided with Pelosi's $4 million investment in Palo Alto Networks, which later investigated the breach. CEO's demise, Brian Thompson, okay, who was the CEO of United Health. His demise was shortly after he was set to testify in a DOJ case that could have implicated Pelosi in insider trading. Okay, this is why I said in the last two videos that she is connected to this. Luigi Mangione's role. He's a tech-savvy, wealthy Maryland family with historical ties to the D'Alessandro family, which is Pelosi's family, okay, that's her maiden name, was arrested in connection with Thompson's death. Now let's talk about the key elements with the political insider trading. Speculations suggest that the cyber attack could have been orchestrated to facilitate insider trading benefiting the Pelosi family. And we all know that she is notorious for insider trading. Now, the Pelosi-Mangione family ties. You've got Nicholas Mangione, which is Luigi's grandfather. He had ties to Thomas D'Alessandro Jr., which is Pelosi's father. That raises questions about long-standing family connections, okay? Now, when it comes to the intersection of power, influence, corruption, nothing surprises or should surprise us anymore. But the unfolding saga that is surrounding this kid, this Luigi Mangione, and also Nancy Pelosi and United Healthcare's group cyber attack is a story that raises every single eyebrow and begs serious questions that I'm sure we will never get answers for. Is there a connection between the tech-savvy kid of Luigi Mangione, who comes from a wealthy Maryland family, a devastating cyber attack of what could have been one of the most intricate insider trading scandals in modern history? So let's break that down. A timeline is intriguing, and I will give you that, okay? In February of 2024, United Healthcare Group, one of the largest private insurers in the United States, suffered a catastrophic cyber attack. On the same exact day, Paul, which is Pelosi's husband, made a curious financial move, purchasing $4 million in call options for Palo Alto Networks, which is a leading cybersecurity firm. Shortly after that, Palo Alto Networks was chosen to investigate the breach. Coincidence? Perhaps. But the timing makes the eyebrows go up and down, to say the very least. As the fallout unfolds, United Healthcare Group was left grappling with a $2.3 billion response bill a tarnished reputation, and data breaches impacting 1/3 of Americans. Among those reported affected by this cyber attack was Brian Thompson, the CEO, who was scheduled to testify before the Department of Justice regarding potential insider trading allegations that could have implicated Pelosi. Enter Luigi Mangione, a computer science graduate from the University of Pennsylvania, the grandson of Nicholas Mangione, a man with well-documented ties to Thomas D'Alessandro, who is no stranger to controversy. Now, while Luigi is largely remained in the shadow of his family's business empire, his tech expertise and access to wealth raises questions about his potential role in this high-stakes drama. Luigi was arrested in December, this year, 2024, in connection with the demise of Brian Thompson, just weeks before the CEO was set to testify. Now, while authorities have focused on the immediate crime, the broader context suggests a potential motive linked to protecting powerful individuals. Now, could Luigi Mangione have been part of a coordinated effort to silence Thompson and to shield Pelosi from insider trading accusations? So here is the insider trading angle. The sequence of events involving Pelosi and Palo Alto networks smells of insider trading, but like I said, she's notorious for it. Yet, as always, there's plausible deniability. Nancy Pelosi's defenders argue that Paul Pelosi's investments are independent of her legislative role, but critics, they see this as a convenient shield. Luigi Mangione's potential involvement in the cyber attack and subsequent events adds another layer of intrigue. Now, there is a pattern of power. Let's not forget that this is not the first time that Pelosi's name has been linked to ethically questionable dealings. From stock market timing to her legislative influence on industries where her family has investments. The Pelosi machine has always operated at the edge of what's legal and what's ethical. Now add Luigi Mangione into the mix, the tech-savvy grandson of a family that is connected to the D'Alessandros, and you have all of the ingredients for a scandal that could rival any Washington thriller. Now, the questions that demand answers, if there's anything to hide, why would the CEO end up dead before his DOJ testimony? Why did Paul Pelosi make $4 million bet on a very cybersecurity firm that ended up investigating the attack? Is this a case of random coincidence, or are we witnessing the makings of one of the most explosive political and financial conspiracies in modern history? Only time will tell, obviously, but one thing is very, very clear. When it comes to the Pelosi dynasty, there's always more to the story. So I dug a little bit deeper. Luigi Mangione is Facebook friends with Moses Hetfield. Hetfield is one of Mangione's very few Facebook friends, and the two grew up in close proximity to each other in Maryland. Moses Hetfield is the son of Mark Hetfield, who is the president of the Jewish NGO HIAS, which facilitates illegal immigration to the United States with funding from DHS. DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkis was on the board of HIAS before he was appointed as DHS Secretary by 46. Moses' mother is Miriam Hetfield, who works at DHS with Mayorkis. She works in Citizenship and Immigration Services. What are the odds that Luigi has 1 degree of separation from Mayorkis? Pelosi and her brother, Thomas D'Alessandro III, are connected to Luigi through his grandfather, Nicholas Mangione. Now, here's something else. In a 1989 Washington Post article, D'Alessandro, the former mayor of Baltimore, defended Nicholas Mangione's reputation, calling him big-hearted, despite investigations into human rights violations and regulatory shortcuts tied to his business practices. And this becomes even more interesting because Nancy Pelosi made a suspicious trade that very same day, okay, the United Health and cyber attack, and the company she traded on chose to investigate the breach. Now here are the pictures to back up everything that I just said, okay? Here's the picture of Luigi's cousin Antonio Mangione, who serves as the Maryland state delegate, okay? You see that? All right. Now, on to this. The controversy of Quartz Turf Valley owner. Mangione uncowed by radical incident development dispute. Okay? Now, it says last year, after a widely publicized racial incident at Turf Valley Country Club, the pillars of the Howard County community briefly shunned Mangione's property like an 800-acre leper colony. Okay, so now let's go over to this. And it says, D'Alessandro III, a former mayor of Baltimore, and those who criticize Mangione don't understand what drives him. If he seems impatient sometimes, D'Alessandro said, it's only because he wants the very best for a business, the very best for his family. Okay, so now let's go over to here. It says, this is when it comes to the Facebook friends, okay, you can see that Luigi Mangione is friends with Moses Hetfield, okay. Now, this is about Miriam Hetfield, which is Moses's mother. Miriam Hetfield works as management and program analysis for Citizenship and Immigration Services for DHS, and in 2023 had a reported pay of $152,771 according to public records. This is 98.1% higher than the average pay for federal agency employees and 112.9% higher than the national average for government employees. Here is a picture of Miriam, okay, with her family. Here is a picture of Mark Hetfield's Twitter X account, okay. And then here is the article that I was just referring to, okay. And I'll read this to you. It says, Mangione heads family enterprise. Nicholas Mangione opens a hotel background at Turf Valley Country Club in Howard County last year. Lutherville developer Nicholas B. Mangione says he believes in doing things by the book. Sometimes it is regulations that have caused him trouble. The 64-year-old son of Italian immigrants has been the subject of human rights investigations, hauled into court for permit violations, and criticized by neighbors who have fought for his developments. I want to do everything by the book, but what book are you talking about? Mangione asks. While some might accuse him of writing his own book, a Baltimore native says he looks to the philosophy when doing business. It's very simple. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. For 40 years, Mangione has perversed and prospered in his business ventures. His properties include the Lorien Nursing Home and Harmony Hall Retirement Community in Columbia, the York Place Office Building in Lutherville, the Howard County Executive Center in Ellicott City, the Turf Valley Country Club and Hotel in Howard County. Mangione now wants to buy a radio station, build another retirement home, and construct another golf course. Recently, the Little Italy Lodge and the Order of the Sons of Italy awarded him its annual Good Citizen Award, and the Save a Heart Foundation honored him for his humanitarian works. The story of Mangione's life reads like a Dickens novel. The oldest son, second of 4 children, Mangione says he watched his mother struggle to keep the family together when his father died suddenly in 1936. Mangione was only 11 at the time, and his family had to go on to welfare. To help with the family's income, he and his brother sold newspapers on the Baltimore streets, and his older sister worked at a soda fountain, he says. After a stint in the Navy, Mangione went to college to study accounting, but while working in a part-time job for a bricklayer contracting firm, he changed directions. More money was to be made in construction than accounting, he decided. In 1949, he founded Mangione and Company Contractors. For nearly 30 years, his company helped build other people's buildings, but now his company stays busy with his own projects. In 1978, Mangione bought the Turf Valley Country Club and just last year opened a 174-room hotel there. Mangione and his wife Mary are the sole stockholders in the company, which has been renamed Mangione Enterprises to reflect the diversity of its operations, and their 10 children serve on the board of directors. The wall behind Mangione's office is covered with news clippings of his children's successes in soccer and portraits of his children and grandchildren. Wow. Okay, so, well, now you could see that I dug a little bit further, and I'm not done. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep digging until, I mean, this, and then I found out that his lawyer, he's getting inundated with phone calls of people wanting to pay for his legal fees. Yeah. So, and I think it's because, I mean, and a lot of you have even said in the comment section that you've even like dissected the pictures of the person that they were looking for and the person that they caught. It's not even the same person. And I agree with you. Like I said, I believe that Mangione is a patsy. He's a patsy. So anyway, all right, guys, I'm out of here. I will see you in the next one, okay? You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always, fearless. Ciao.